Do you think ARod would be a good manager?
I think A-Rod's really smart about the game. I think he might be too nice. I think he might be too nice to the players.
I wouldn't.
I don't think A-Rod wants to beat. I think Jeter could be a lot nastier to the players than A-Rod can. I think Jeter doesn't care. I think A-Rod cares. I think A-Rod's got a soft spot. I think he doesn't want to beat on the players. I think Jeter would have no trouble. I don't think Jeter wants to be a manager. I don't think he'd think the game as much as A-Rod. A-Rod thought the game 24 hours. Jeter was a business. Jeter was a lot like Peyton Manning to me. You know, he did everything right, very smart, great under pressure, as good as there ever was. But it's a business to him. It's a job. And he did it perfectly. A-Rod loves the game. He's there early. He's there 20. He'll talk it all day and night. You know, some guys don't like to do that when they leave the game. And that doesn't make him not a great player. It's just a different kind of guy. He could work at 24 hours a day and be happy. If he was, you know, if he was managing a minor league team, now, he's not giving back all his money, I understand that, or his real estate or his jets or anything else.
Yeah.
But if he had his job as was a minor league manager, he'd be happy. If he could teach baseball every day, he'd be happy. I can tell you this. Every kid, and this is what was such a shame. I said, how come no one talks about that A-Rod, not that every player doesn't, who cares, but that A-Rod shows up early when he goes for a minor league assignment and works with the kids there and buys people suits when they show up and takes those guys out to dinner. If you think every superstar does that, you're out of your mind. He's always done that stuff, never gotten credit for it.
Mike, so 30 years, I remember you telling me a story once that if things were a little boring, there were names like Lawrence Taylor, Darryl Strawberry, and other names that your lights would just light up.
Oh, there were push-button guys. There's always been, and you know, in our business.
And where does that come from?
Well,
Why?
our business is a negative business anyway. Negative, as anyone knows, Big Cal know this. Negative sells 100 times more than positive. Positive, you can only say so much. You know, really, after you say someone had a great game or played brilliantly, or you know, LeBron scores 50. All right, we all agree he was brilliant. What are you going to say after brilliant? I mean, how many times are you going to say it?
That's right.
But if he, you know, if he blew the game, or he did this, or he did that, or you know, or Smith does this, or someone blows the clock, or someone does this, or, you know, that's going to last forever. And you had guys in this town. Strawberry was the first one. On Fan, which started in '87, the first one was Darryl Strawberry. It didn't matter, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you could light the board like a Christmas tree, just bring up Strawberry. Because and Ewing was very close to second. Because Ewing was great, but he always left that little something where he didn't get it done. They never won a championship. You know, for someone who came here, and he had the greatest contract, and I know you guys like business, and he had the greatest business situation of all time. He got drafted. Excuse me, before he got drafted, and you had all that time, after the famed envelope where you knew the Knicks were going to get the #1 pick, they sold 5,000 season tickets the next day.
Wow.
Think about the position he was in to come to the town, or say, maybe I won't come. You know, maybe I'll sit out this year and go to Europe and take a year off, go back in the draft. They sold 5,000 season tickets the day they won the lottery. That was the greatest position anybody was ever in. This town was waiting for him to be Bill Russell. He turned out to be a wonderful jump shooter and a wonderful player, 23, 24, and 10 every game, but he wasn't Bill Russell. And that's what everybody thought they were getting when he left Georgetown.
How about Riles when he left? That was...
Owned the town until he left. And you know, it's funny. You talk about this. Pat Riley helped build Mike and the Mad Dog. There's a couple of coaches who did. Parcells, because of my relationship with him, but Pat Riley loved Mike and the Mad Dog.
I love Pat.
And Pat used to do things for us that were unbelievable. Game 7, Dog and I would do our show from the arena. We'd be in the arena in the afternoon. The game wasn't until 8 o'clock that night or 8:30 that night. And we'd be on from 1 until 6:30. And at 5 o'clock, out would come Pat Riley. This is before Game 6, before Game 7, live 45 minutes with us. Every Game 7,
That's
everything.
insane.
So when Pat faxed in his resignation, Dog and I jumped him like everybody else. He held a grudge to this day. And he has never done an interview except with the night Ewing retired, ever with either one of us again. And my wife came upstairs. We were staying at the Santa Monica Lowe's, the Lowe's Santa Monica. And my wife came up and said, Pat Riley's at the pool. And I said, how do you know it's Pat Riley? She goes, you know, duh, it's Pat Riley. What woman doesn't know it's Pat Riley, okay? It's Pat Riley. So I went down to the pool, and this is like 2 years into his stay in Miami. And I said, Pat, we got to talk this out. We talked for 2 hours at the pool. And he said, you guys owed me. you weren't loyal. And I said, Pat, you left us. If you had just anything except faxed in your resignation and went to Greece, what do you want us to do? Say you did the right thing? You should have had my back. I was always there for you guys. And he was. He was unbelievable to us. And he's never forgiven us. And to this day, he still doesn't forgive us.
Are there guys like that? Because you obviously have a relationship with
He's a special
Alex.
one, though.
Yeah, but like, are there guys like that where you feel almost like you maybe took away their loyalty, you betrayed them in a way, even though you were
I think
telling
him,
honest?
and I think I did betray him. To be honest with you, I
Yeah.
think more and more through the years, I thought he was right.
Yeah.
I really did. I don't know how I would have handled that day better, but I understand he was, and when I look back on it, I understand his point. And through the years now, I've never asked him to do anything because I think he's right.
Well, I love Pat Riley, and I'm telling you, he's a friend. He doesn't do that for anybody.
And he's the toughest guy in the world.
I mean, the fact that he did that for you in Game 7, he's the most intense
every
guy.
Game 7.
That is unheard of.
Every Game 7. He was unbelievable. He was there for us every time. He never didn't come on with us. He loved doing it. He loved talking it. He loved doing it. I think it relaxed him. I think he knew what he was talking to the whole town. He loved that. When he was in this town, he was a god.
Yes, he was.
That team was the hottest ticket. And he was an absolute god. He was as big as Parcells was. He was bigger than Parcells when he was here. The years he was here, now Parcells was here longer, and he was more successful. But he was actually bigger as a persona because his persona was so much flash and the whole, thing, and the outfits and Riley. Two guys come in a suit that never ever anyone could compete with. Michael Jordan and Pat Riley in a suit, and no one else has a chance.
Game over. Game over.
Yeah, game over.